Hello, my name is Ronald Armstrong, and in this presentation, I'll be going over Group 1's Japan Training Plan Part 3, Leadership and Cultural Preparedness for Doing Business in Japan. A project manager may have the experience and the skills to accomplish a project. A project manager needs to have the soft skills as well as the cultural diversity to lead a team or a project in a foreign country. This is a three-part series. The first part we went over strategic business and management in Japan. The second part was the technical skills needed for doing business in Japan. So let's get started. In this presentation, I'll be going over leadership and the soft skills that a project manager will need to do business in Japan. Conflict management. In every project there is conflict. However, doing business in Japan with Japanese men and women, there is a different way on how to handle conflict. Then I will go over the cultural preparedness, in particular, greetings and gift giving, which can make or break a deal. Meal etiquette. When dining out with the Japanese can be different than having dinner in America. And last, how to dress when doing business in a business meeting in Japan. Let's go over leadership. Leadership involves recognizing and articulating the need to significantly alter the direction and operation of the project, aligning people to the new direction and motivating them to work together to overcome hurdles produced by the change and to realize new objectives. This comes from Larson and Gray, 2014. Leadership involves establishing a clear vision, sharing that vision with others so that they follow willingly, providing the information and knowledge with methods to realize that vision, and coordinating with balancing the conflicts of interest of all members. Within leadership are the skills to listen. This is an extremely important part of communications, especially in business. Then there is coaching and mentoring of your fellow project managers and team members. With leadership, the ability to deal with conflict can sometimes be a challenge. However, dealing with conflict in Japan is a whole new environment. This training is designed to educate project managers on how to conduct themselves in the Japanese environment. However, there are a few things that the project managers will need to know when it comes to conflict management while in a foreign country. When doing business with the Japanese, be very open and friendly during the initial meeting, as the Japanese are very relationship oriented. Do everything in your power to not refuse a request, as the Japanese are looking for long-term relationships. The Japanese rarely grant or entertain counter offers. Both parties are expected to bring forth their best offers, and never raise your voice or speak with excessive hand gestures during a business meeting. When involved in a conflict while in a meeting with the Japanese, openly resolve the conflict and build a shared value with your counterpart, as is seen on this slide. Normal conflict resolution, as described by many American authors, will not solve conflicts with Japanese due to the way their society, culture, and customs are built on. Before the conflict can be resolved and the meeting progresses, you have to have harmony, and no one needs to be obligated to the other person on the resolution of the conflict. So that leads us into cultural preparedness. The Japanese culture is very different than American culture, so it is important to understand these differences before you engage in business with a Japanese businessman or woman. If proper protocol is not maintained, you may offend your Japanese counterpart and ruin the business relationship. It is crucial and critical to maintain a positive relationship with our Japanese project members in order to guarantee a successful project. The first interaction with Japanese businessman or woman is extremely important. First impressions matter more with the Japanese than with the average American. A normal greeting in the business setting starts with a bow from both parties. You should bow first and then let your Japanese counterpart follow with a bow or introduce a handshake. Women should keep their hands on their thighs when bowing, and men should keep hands at the side. Next will be the exchange of business cards. This is essential to have business cards for all members of the room. Present the business card with two hands and be quiet and respectful during the exchange. You are expected to have translated business cards, so bring cards in English and Japanese. One option is to have the English on one side of the card and the Japanese on the other. Gift giving is prevalent in Japanese business deals. They show appreciation for the other party's time and ideas. You should present a gift and will most likely get a gift in return. If the gift is wrapped, wait until you leave the meeting to unwrap the gift. The wrapping in Japan is as important as the gift itself. Many business interactions involve a lunch or dinner. Knowing how to conduct oneself during these meals is critical to successful business relationships. Just like the business meeting, start your greeting at the restaurant with a bow. If you receive a towel, only use for your hands. Do not use it to wipe your face or neck. During the meal, you will be expected to use chopsticks. Chopsticks can be tricky to use, so practice before you engage in a business meeting with a Japanese company. Do not point your chopsticks at someone during a conversation. Lick sauces off the chopstick and stab the chopstick through the food, or leave chopsticks in communal plates of food. When not using the chopsticks, lay them neatly on the plate. The Japanese dress conservatively, yet classy in their business interactions. So you should too. Focus on wearing dark colors without a lot of patterns. Women in powerful business roles are still relatively new for Japanese culture, so it is recommended that women dress in a conservative pantsuit of a dark color. Hair should be worn back or short to not be a distraction. On the next slide are pictures of a greeting card exchange, and how to dress. The pictures on this slide from left to right represent a standard greeting, business card exchange, and how to dress. In this presentation, I went over leadership and the soft skills that a project manager will need to do business in Japan, conflict management, and what a project manager should do when involved in a conflict with a Japanese businessman or woman. I went over the cultural preparedness while conducting business in Japan, in particular how a greeting and gift giving should go, how to conduct yourself while dining out, and how to dress while conducting business in Japan.